I hate Jerry, and I think at this point everybody else does too. There's a reason he's on the villains wiki. He's a sadistic little mouse that always has things goes his way. Almost everyone has watched Tom and Jerry. It's a classic show about an innocent, clever mouse finding clever ways to beat an evil cat. Or is it? When you really look into it, you realize Jerry is not the one you should be rooting for. Tom is a well-mannered, highly skilled pet that's just trying to do their job. Then comes Jerry, a selfish narcissist who always wants to be the center of attention, sabotaging Tom every chance they get just to try to get him to chase him. You may think I'm twisting things, but let's take a look. In episode 60, Slicked Up Pop, Spike, another one of Fiona's pet, threatens to beat up Tom if he didn't keep his son clean. In this episode, Tom does everything in his power to keep Spike's son clean. So this decides to have some fun. Whilst Tom is trying to be a good babysitter, Jerry's messing with Tom and trying to get him dirty, just so he can get a kick from watching him get beat up. You may argue,
but Jerry's just acting in self-defense.
I might agree with you, except that Jerry isn't just acting in self-defense. Even when Tom leaves him alone, he still comes and messes everything up for him, even going as far as filling his hose with tar. You think this would be a rare instance? Surely there won't be more. But no, there's way, way more. In episode 55, Casanova Cat, Tom is on a date with a cat when Jerry decides to ruin it. That's right, not even his love life is safe from this menace. Jerry invites another cat just to mess with his date, because after beating up Tom, Jerry's next favorite thing to do is get other people to beat up Tom. And so what should have been a nice, fun date with a beautiful cat turns into an all-out brawl with this cat that shouldn't even be there. Another singular example, you may say, but you would be wrong again. In episode 45, Jerry's Diary, we get to read some of Jerry's diary, and this small snippet of what goes on in his head is horrifying. In his diary, Jerry slanders and mocks Tom, all while bragging about every instance where he got Tom abused or injured, and when Tom is understandably upset and confronts him about him, the goddamn mouse blows him up. Jerry is a manipulator. He purposely puts himself in situations where Tom will chase him, knowing full well that he will always be able to beat him eventually. He's smarter than Tom could ever be, and he knows it. Whilst Tom has to deal with the threat of homelessness every day when he fails to catch the mouse, Jerry gets to live his life luxuriously, living on someone else's property and stealing food. You might just argue he's just doing what he needs to survive. But wait a minute, is that an MP3 player? Where the frick did he get an MP3 player from? Jerry's not just an ordinary criminal, he's a criminal mastermind. He's not just surviving, he's thriving. He doesn't need to steal, he does it for the thrill, the joy of outwitting his so-called natural enemy time and time again. He relishes seeing Tom beaten at his expense. To him, it's just one big game, where he is the winner.